Good morning, you're watching Addis News Hour. I'm Zort Desaling. Thank you for joining us and do stay tuned. Prior to the news, that was the special tribute to the November 3rd, second-year commemoration of the terrorist TPLF's attack and massacre on the Ethiopian National Defense Force Northern Command. Now, as we begin towards the press statement released on the 2nd of November 2022. The government of Ethiopia welcomes the signing of a peace agreement at the conclusion of the African Union peace talks in Pretoria, the Republic of South Africa. This agreement brings to an end 2 years of conflict in northern Ethiopia. It must be noted that the agreement has reiterated respect for the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Ethiopia and to upholding the constitution of the country. Consistent with the constitution, the agreement also reaffirmed that Ethiopia has only one national defense force. To implement these and other cardinal principles in the agreement includes provisions on the disarmament, demobilization, and reintegration of the TPLF combatants. This agreement allows the country to move forward to end the conflict. The next step would be the implementation of the agreement. The government is looking forward to immediately embarking on the rehabilitation and reconstruction of communities affected by this conflict. The government is ready to work closely with international partners in this regard. The government will continue to diligently work to ensure accountability measures against alleged violations of human rights. The Interministerial Task Force established to implement the recommendations of the joint investigation by the Ethiopian Human Rights Commission and the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights will redouble its efforts and expand its areas of operation. The government extends its deep appreciation and thanks to the people and government of the Republic of South Africa for hosting the peace talks with a view to assisting Ethiopia to find a peaceful resolution to the conflict. The government is grateful to the African Union Commission and the AU High Representative for the Horn of Africa, His Excellency former President Olusegun Obasanjo, supported by His Excellency former President Uhuru Kenyatta and Her Excellency Dr. Phumzile Mlambo, former Deputy President of the Republic of South Africa. The government expresses deep appreciation to the Chairperson of the African Union Commission, His Excellency Mr. Musa Faki Mohammed, and Commissioner Bankole Adeoye for this initiative and for supporting the process. The government also appreciates the support of the government of the U.S. for the success of this process. The government has been expediting humanitarian assistance and restoring essential services. It is committed to expeditious implementation of the government. The government is grateful to the African Union, sisterly African countries, and friends of Ethiopia around the world. The government looks forward to reinvigorating relations with various partners that have been affected due to conflict. Meanwhile, Kenyan President William Samoei Ruto extended a word of felicitation on the milestone achieved between the federal government and the TPLF after lengthy peace talks in Pretoria, South Africa. Saying that the agreement is a bold step towards restoring peace in Ethiopia, Ruto wished Ethiopia an era of cohesion, integration, and reconciliation. The victory achieved today, Ruto said, aligns with the AU's collective desire for peace and security, adding the mutual agreement creates the necessary environment to nurture durable political stability in Ethiopia. He finally extended his appreciation for the observers, including the IGAD, US, and UN, for their continued support.
መንገድ ያሳያቸው ወይም ጥቃቱ እንዲፈጸም ያደረገው ኮሎኔል ገብረስላሴ ነው። መሳሪያው ግምጃ ቤት እንዲገባ አደረገ። እኛ ባዶ እጃችን እንድንሆን አደረገ። ከዚህ በላይ እንግዲህ ምን ማድረግ አይቻልም። ወታደሩ ነው ባዶ እጅህን ያው መማረክ ማለት እኮ
ዲሞቢላይዝ ወይም ደግሞ ዲስቴብላይዝ በማድረግ የተደረገ እንቅስቃሴ ነው። በጣም ፈጣን የሆነ እርምጃ ነው የተወሰደው። በኦልሞስት በ45 ደቂቃ ውስጥ እዙን በሙሉ ለመቆጣጠር የተቻለበት ነው። አንዳንድ ፖኬቶች ላይ ከቀሩት ውጪ
አያ
We don't know. Our commanders, they are in jail. We don't know. Maybe they are not alive till now. That is what they paid for us.
መንገድ ያሳያቸው ወይም ጥቃቱ እንዲፈጸም ያደረገው ኮሎኔል ገብረስላሴ ነው። መሳሪያው ግምጃ ቤት እንዲገባ አደረገ። እኛ ባዶ እጃችን እንድንሆን አደረገ። ከዚህ በላይ እንግዲህ ምን ማድረግ አይቻልም። ወታደሩ ነው ባዶ እጅህን ያው መማረክ ማለት እኮ
ዲሞቢላይዝ ወይም ደግሞ ዲስቴብላይዝ በማድረግ የተደረገ እንቅስቃሴ ነው። በጣም ፈጣን የሆነ እርምጃ ነው የተወሰደው። በኦልሞስት በ45 ደቂቃ ውስጥ እዙን በሙሉ ለመቆጣጠር የተቻለበት ነው። አንዳንድ ፖኬቶች ላይ ከቀሩት ውጪ
አያ
We don't know. Our commanders, they are in jail. We don't know. Maybe they are not alive till now. That is what they paid for us.
You're watching Addis News Hour, and we are on the segment of What's Trending, and as I'm joined by our staff member, Daniel Kassaun, who's about to, of course, address what's been trending over the past 24 hours. Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning to you, Walter.
So, as we have to cut to the chase, I'm guessing that we are going to hover and ravel around the very, very main points of what's been trending with regards to the special tribute to the November 3rd second year commemoration of the terrorist TPLF's attack and massacre on the Ethiopian National Defense Force Northern Command, and of course the press statement released yesterday as of November 2nd, 2022.
Let's begin with saying congratulations to Ethiopians for reaching this day, commemorating this November 3rd, and for the agreement, the deal struck in South Africa between the government forces and the representative from the TPLF group. They have struck a deal, and it's very interesting, and it's, as the Prime Minister of Ethiopia said, it is monumental for this country. It has the war in the northern part of Ethiopia has consumed lots of lives and resources, and it has become a stumbling block for the aspired growth and prosperity for this country. Lots of aspirations were there, but lots of challenges faced this government, and it hasn't moved as it has planned. When we remember November 3rd, it was caused by the grave mistake from the TPLF forces. They stabbed their friends from the back, their compatriots from the back, and that was a grave mistake from the other side, and the government was forced to enforce law enforcement operation in the northern part of Ethiopia, and lots of fightings were there, and truce was announced many times, but was not succeeded. Were not succeeded, and now this is opportune time for Ethiopians to make use of the agreements, the codes of the agreements, which are struck in South Africa, Pretoria. And the two forces have taken too much time. The negotiation was supposed to end last Sunday, but extended to yesterday, and fortunately they have come to agreement, and the agreements, the course of the agreements, the articles were very interesting. They are all meant for the peace and stability of this country, and most importantly, all the agreements are towards ensuring the unity and sovereignty of this country. That's very interesting. Everybody has to work for the unity and sovereignty of this country. Present at the event were Special Envoy of the African Union, former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo. Ethiopia is grateful for his tireless efforts, moving here and there, moving Addis Ababa to Mekelle many times, and he worked tirelessly, and now former Kenyan president joined him in this process, and the IGAD representative, Dr. Ognagabayo, was there, and Special Envoy of the United Nations, Hannah Tete, she was there, and also former president of South Africa, and also Special Envoy of the United States, Mike Hammer, was there, and many representatives were there, and it was monumental, and hopefully it has to be handled carefully. As somebody cares for handling an egg, it has to be handled very carefully. I don't expect any other chance better than this one. This must be the last chance for both sides to work for peaceful resolution of conflicts. Of course, there are heartbreaking histories in the back, which one cannot reverse them. And the people of Ethiopia has to pay patience, and the Ethiopian army has to be patient, and it has to be led orderly, and it requires careful handling. And both commemorating tribute to November 3rd and this negotiation has come together, and Ethiopians are celebrating almost two victories, I can say.
Thank you very much, Daniel, for giving us the nutshell about shed lighting with the current issues of what's been trending so far. Thank you.
Thank you.
We are here at Science Museum, which is inaugurated by Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and other high-ranking government officials very recently. This is a place where it brings about digital transformation for Ethiopia as well. the African continent.
Salam, she knows 4 local languages that are Amharic, Afan Oromo, Tigrinya, and Somalia. Besides English, as you have heard, she has welcomed you by English, but she knows our local language. This is one of our other products, and it is a soldier, as you have seen, and we use it for security purpose. As you have seen in Artificial Intelligence Technology Institute, we are trying to provide this technology for different problems that we have in the country. So we are working on different sectors. So one of the other sectors is the health sector. So from the health sector, from the number of products that we have developed, I would like to introduce or show you the breast cancer detection system.
Public Relations Director of the Ethiopian National Defense Force, Colonel Getnet Adana, pointed out that the TPLF's treasonous attack against the Northern Command of the Ethiopian Army is proof of the terrorist group's cruelty. Colonel Adana said that the Ethiopian National Defense Forces, aligned with the people of Ethiopia, is committed to steer clear of the nation's threat at any time. Briefing journalists here the previous day, Adana underlined that the nation will commemorate the brave comrades murdered by the TPLF Special Forces on that day with assortments on Thursday, November 3rd, 2022.
እንደሚታወቀው ጥቅምት 24 2013 ዓ.ም
As there is already known, November 3 for 2020 was the day the devilish TPLF announced its plan to destroy the country by demolishing the Ethiopian National Defense Force Northern Command, and the group proved its anti-people and anti-Ethiopia position by its acted treason. The terrorist group had prepared in advance and at the same time stabbed the Northern Command from behind and orchestrated the attack, which is strange and immoral. This devilish act is not only for Ethiopia, but also for the world as well. The Defense Army is a son of the people who is always ready to sacrifice to keep Ethiopia's sovereignty and territorial integrity. The terrorist TPLF has committed a heinous act that Ethiopians will never forget. This historical day will be commemorated with the community at every corner of the nation and abroad wherever Ethiopians are found.
The commemoration of the day aims to raise awareness to everyone that such acts of treason and destruction can never be repeated again. Colonel Getnet indicated that the commemoration of the second anniversary of the day will be observed on Thursday at the General Staff of the Ethiopian National Defense Force and in all areas of the Army's bases all over the country under the theme, "We'll Never Forget November 3rd, 2020.
ጥቅምት 24ን ስናስብ የአሸናፊና የተሸናፊ ትርክት ለመፍጠር
As we remember, the day was very bad and unforgettable. Though celebrating this day is not to expand hostility, rather is to help the youth to take a lesson from that bad moment. The people of Ethiopia have proved their strength by staying on our side after seeing the violence that happened on November 3, 2020. The army was with the people of Ethiopia and was demonstrating its patriotic role to the sovereignty of the country, including the Tigray region. Though when we think of that unforgettable and bad heinous acts against the army.
You're watching Addis News Hour, and let's take a recap of the top stories once again. The government of Ethiopia welcomes the signing of a peace agreement at the conclusion of the African Union peace talks. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for watching Addis News Hour. I'm Zoltan Desali, and have a great day ahead.